Okay, well let's start by defining passive aggression. Just like it sounds, passive aggression is passive rather than active communication. You're sitting on anger rather than just owning it and expressing it and saying, "Hey, I'm angry." Now it's sort of understandable because there's a strong stigma in our culture against anger. You're not really supposed to be angry. You're not supposed to admit you're angry. If you tell someone, "Gee, I think you're angry," they take it like an insult. But the reality remains that we're all angry a little bit all the time. That's because we evolved from apes and we're animals, really. And we have strong aggressive drives. There's always a little bit of an itch of anger. Maybe that's, it's a good thing. It's part of what makes us human, and part of what, drives us through our lives is that little bit of anger, that little sense that we want to change something, that something's, fired us up. Now, the passive-aggressive person, unfortunately, has bottled the anger up and is trying to sort of hide it or avoid it or not admit it's there. And it's irritating because everyone knows that the person's angry and everyone can see it and they think, boy, there's an angry person, we're going to back off a little bit, that person's radiating anger. And yet the person doesn't seem to understand it himself. So the question now that AM has posed is, how do I handle a passive-aggressive person? I have a couple of pointers. The first is simply to model active communication to that person, which is as simple as putting your own thoughts and feelings into words in an active way, saying, I feel a little angry because of whatever. The idea here essentially is that if you say, listen, I have a right to my feelings, and I'm going to just say, I'm feeling a little angry about this. You might model for them and sort of persuade them through your own, by guiding them through your own behavior to do the same. The second tactic would be to investigate, to try to find out what's really going on with this person by asking questions. You could simply say, listen, it seems like you're a little bit upset. I don't want to tell you you're upset, but I just want to inquire. And if in any way I caused this upset, or I've somehow inadvertently made you angry, please feel free, feel comfortable to bring that to me. I welcome your anger, and I'm very happy to hear what might have upset you. So the first tactic is to model active communication. The second is to investigate and try to sort of elicit the anger from the passive-aggressive person. But AM, you said a couple of things. You asked about boundaries, and you also asked about intimate relationships. And frankly, the first boundary really is to keep passive-aggressive people, outside of your life. I mean, they're tough to deal with. These people are functioning in a very primitive emotional way. And I certainly wouldn't recommend having an intimate relationship with someone who has a lot of passive-aggressive tendencies. It's probably better to stay away from these people because, they're not really, well, how to put it, they have a lot of work to do. If someone is unable to own their anger and just put it into words and simply say, I'm angry, then they're going to have to do some self-examination and work on themselves. So that first boundary might simply be to stay away.